In your own time, when you're ready. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Welcome to this week's meeting of Essex Business Forum. I'm Aidan Squire, I'm your chairman. It's my job to get you through the agenda. And as always, I am assisted ably by the leadership team. May I ask them to be outstanding? Introduce themselves, please.
Morning, I'm Vincent. I chair the membership committee and also the official timekeeper.
I heard that.
Very good.
We'll come this way, shall we? Good morning, I'm Scott, your meeting secretary, and of course, the handsome face of Jack. Thank you.
And good morning everybody, I'm Terry, I deal with membership and recruitment, and today I'm standing for them then, which is education and development.
And good morning, I'm Brian, social secretary.
Thank you all. Please be seated. Right, today's meeting, we have a visitor with us, Krista Lafrida. Welcome. Hope you enjoy the meeting.
Thank you.
Let's move the meeting on then. Let's get it away. We start off, as always, done it every week, I'm still looking. Performance League. The Performance League, Scott, take it away.
Right, so yes, as promised, Performance League, Chris, for your benefit, is the measure of contribution from the members each week. We chart about 15 or so different factors in a little league, reset each month. You score points for doing things as easy as turning up, through to giving and receiving a business, having a one-to-one get-together outside of the club to learn more about each other, commenting on our blog, loads of other things. And so, top places so far in February. Remembering our benchmark target score for everyone is 88 points per month as a goal. Third place with 222 points. Well done. 244 points. That's Mr. Toby Acton in second. And the current leader, 310 points. Member of the year apparently, but he's not here today, he's on holiday, it's Matt.
I think we should squeeze in for all results.
Thank you very much, Scott.
Be like Max Verstappen, just ignore him.
Yeah.
Let's, well, we've got a week to catch up with him. Whether we'll do that or not is another matter. Right. Education presentation. Terry, could you do the honours for introducing?
Yes, thanks very much, Aidan. So this presentation this week, you'll be pleased to know is not Ben. Ben's not here, he's not well, he's got man flu. And I'm delighted to introduce Mr. Paul Booth. Yeah, could you take one past one, please? Could you take one past one, please? So, once you've got your bit of paper, I'm going to give you some very specific instructions which I'd like you to follow, please, as closely as you can. But once I've given you those instructions, please don't ask questions from those instructions. Just do what you think is appropriate. There'll be quite a few instructions, so you have to do what I've said very, very properly before the next instruction comes along. So, are we all there yet? Nearly. Have you got? Right. Okay. So first of all, I want you to all close your eyes and keep your eyes closed. You don't need a pen, by the way. Pick your piece of paper up with your eyes closed. Everyone's got their eyes closed? Neil, you haven't got your eyes closed. That's right. Keep your eyes closed. Now I want you to fold the piece of paper in half, please.
He said no question.
And then I want you to fold the paper again, please, in half. And then again in half. The top left-hand corner of that piece of paper, I want you to tear a piece off. And the opposite corner, also tear a piece off, please. I'll tear it too. On the side of a piece of the paper, I also want you to tear a piece off.
Where?
Alright, all done?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I want you to open your eyes, please. And open up your piece of paper. And hold it out in front of you. Right. Okay. Some are the same. A lot are quite a bit different. Yeah, all good. None of you are wrong. Just your interpretation. So what this is about your 60 seconds. So in terms of delivering the 60 seconds, I thought I was being very specific in what I was delivering for my 60 seconds. But what you were hearing was different. In that you've all shown you've got different outcomes. So perhaps an example for us all is when we deliver our 60 seconds, don't think what you're actually delivering, it's more what the actual people around the table are listening for. So yeah, just be careful within your 60 seconds what you're actually asking for. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. So taking you down all the paper back. No, right. Right, we move on. Terry, do we have any membership matters that are well?
Quite a lot. Today.
All right.
A whole host of membership renewals because this is our I'll be in touch.
So don't miss next week, because it might be next week that he's in touch. Right, let's move on. Business card box, I'm sending that round. Your chance to make sure you're adequately represented in there and take all the cards. Chris, if you'd like to send your cards round, we'll be happy to take them as well. Right, whilst that goes round, I also get our little box going round, put in your offerings so that Scott can top them up. Right, we now approach the 60-second round. Your chance to highlight in 60 seconds. No. Right, let's start again. Your chance to highlight your business in 60 seconds. And to assist on the time, we have a timekeeper, Vincent, who after 50 seconds will make a noise like that, and after 60 seconds will make another noise like seamless, wasn't it? Right, and Mike, he won the Oscar last week. You will be listening carefully to all of your presentations, and at the end of the round, he will make the award. Right, enough of that. Let's get on with the meeting. Because Mike is doing that adjudication, he will go first, and he will be followed by James. Mike.
Good morning everyone, Mike from Blackwood Media, providing video and photography content for businesses and events. So I've noticed a little something's been lacking since Paul DeLue left us, and that's poetry in the 60-second round. So in order to bring a little culture and sophistication back into these morning meetings, I thought I'd kick off in verse, taking inspiration both from Paul D and also from our very own Blake sales techniques that he's taught. Should you need to make your site better, or you want more money to buy a new sweater, come see me at Blackwood Media. If your Facebook page is looking really dull, or your Caribbean boat needs a new hull, come see me at Blackwood Media. If your business just isn't looking quite right and no sales is keeping you up at night, come see me at Blackwood Media. Because we make your media look really great, and that will help you get your bank balance straight. So don't use the phone you bought from your mate, because your video is going to end up looking a state. Just come see me at Blackwood Media. Thank you.
You can't win your own Oscar.
Yeah.
That's the rules.
Have you checked the small print?
That's really bad timing, Mike. Thanks very much. Very good. James, you're next, and you're followed by Neil.
Morning all, James, BHK Insurance. No rhyme from me, I'm afraid. Just some cold hard scary facts. I've been mentioning restaurants, pubs, anywhere I can go and get fatter is where I'm looking to head to at the moment. I went to one the other day, a restaurant that does an awful lot of outside catering. He showed me his documents very proudly that his cousin that sorted the policy out for him. And for an outside catering company, they had an external worker way exclusion on their policy. So they were fine doing stuff in their own property, but as soon as they'd done anything other than deliveries outside, no cover whatsoever. So they were cooking on premises, which obviously involves heat and flames in these lovely big buildings. Had anything gone wrong, insurers would have been. Page 3, endorsement 7, it says, I know you can read it, but it's there so we covered. So it's important that someone who knows what they're doing and cares what they're doing looks at the documents. So restaurants, pubs, or anything else, send them my way, I'll read it, and I'll scare them when I tell them how little cover they've actually got. James, the education.
Thank you very much, James. Neil, you're next, and you're followed by Brian.
Good morning everyone, Neil from Lenny Red Catering, that's where I speak. Leeds, Palmer, Santander, Birmingham and all the other glorious and beautiful places of the world is where I've been working. We're still super busy. We're still working on Keira Knightley's new Netflix drama, which by the way I found out is going to be Netflix's premiere programme this Christmas coming. So yeah, that's all good and fun, and we're still doing work down at Basildon Underwater Film Studios, and we're drowning in buffers as always. Still happy to take client referrals, happy to have new clients, corporate catering, private catering, film and TV catering. Other than that, just super busy, and we feel blessed for having such an amazing start to the year, and long may it continue. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much.
Neil, thank you very much. Have a word with the bloke next door to make sure your insurance is all okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that ain't me. I've got proper insurance. For real.
Thank you, Neil. Brian, you're next, and you're followed by Vincent.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Brian, hypnotherapist, hypnotherapy. On average, I receive between 30 and 40 emails a day, which is quite a lot for a small business. And I received one earlier this week, and I've never had an email like it, and it was from Baby, B-A-B-Y. And the email said, I like wearing nappies, dressing up in baby clothes, and being fed milk from a bottle. I've got a mummy, but now I'm looking for a daddy. Can you help me? Oh, sure. Anyway, I didn't reply to it, but just for, I thought rather an unusual email. What on earth does he think I do? That's orange, please. Thank you very much. That's Brian, hypnotherapist, Pilgrim Hypnotherapy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Visual, yeah. All right. Vincent, you're next, and you're followed by John Hammond.
Vincent from Speed Print and Gagsell. I've been networking for a very long time, and I've used lots of memory books. Here's just a small selection. Number 1, Vince Prints. I like that one. Forward thinking printing. When you need speed print, you're on the run, call 518-6131. Spring, summer, autumn, winter, give me a call when you need a printer. Speed print, we're ink, readable. Trust me, I'm a printer. And then there's printing, which is an acronym, obviously. It stands for Professional Reliable Inking, notably trading in nearby Gangshill. But I still like the old favourite, speed print. You think it, we ink it. Thanks very much.
John, you're next, and you're followed by Paul.
Good morning, everybody. I'm John Hammond from JMX Technology. We can supply all your electronic security, with CCTV, access control, which we can call off barriers. This week, we've come across a new property that a care home people have built for themselves, and the installation there is so abysmal, it's crude. They've got fire doors that people can install access control on that don't shut and lock. Great use of a fire door. If it doesn't close, it's not a fire door. Not only that, they've drilled the doors and put non-certified locks on. So they've killed all the accreditation on those doors whatsoever. And this is what happens when you have a fire. There's a tower recently, Brentwood, burned down. Why? Because people break the rules. We don't do that. We do it right, and we do it with certified locks. So if you want someone who does it right, then give us a call. That's John Hammond from JMX Technology, applying technology to security.
Thank you, John. Paul, you're next, and you're followed by Blake.
Hello, I'm Paul from Solitaire. This week we've been crazy busy trying to get an Essex pump installed, finally under our belt. I don't know if you know, the government put a tax on all new boilers now. It's around £120, £130 per boiler. To get an air source heat pump is impossible, almost impossible. But we're getting there, and we've finally got an accepted install. We're having to triple the size of the customer's rads, add 200mm of loft insulation to keep the air source heat pump power down. Range to have cavity walls insulated. We've had to replace single glazed door and windows. Speak to UK power networks to change a fuse from 60 amp to 100 amp. Then upgrade the towels. Ask the alter customers' loft hatch to allow for a hot water cylinder to go up there. We've had to liaise with Offtech to have an MTS inspection on a certain day. But we're now in a position to install mid-April and finally get our MTS registration, fingers crossed. What I'm trying to say is nothing we won't do for our customers. At Solitaire, we're big enough to trust and small enough to care.
Thank you very much indeed. Luke, you're next, and you're followed by Stuart.
Morning everyone. Bit of good news this morning. Hey. We finally got next door, so the shop's going to be opening. Hey. Little bit of a call to action for all of you to help me out really. If you could help me out with marketing, let me know sort of your tips and tricks for marketing to help me market my business. Because at the moment I'm struggling with Facebook and Instagram, we keep blocking my posts because apparently weapons you can't post about. So if anyone has marketing tips and tricks they can help me out with, I'd be much appreciated. Blake from Hammerhead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Blake. Stuart, you're followed by Toby.
Good morning, everybody. Stuart from LG Networks. We look after business internet services, and for years now I've been banging on about the benefits of having a dedicated fibre optic line. And I know it's been for years because a lot of those initial circuits now are actually coming up for renewal, and we're working through an awful lot of internet renewals at the moment. Quite interestingly, we're renewing customers that have previously took a 100 meg service and now having a 200 meg service for basically less than they used to buy the 100 service for. I moved one customer this week from 100, that's like speed, Brian, from 100 up to a 500 meg service. So 5 times the speed for only 10% more than he was previously paying. And we're a new customer going into a place near Stansted, we're getting a 1000 megabit service for less than 3 years ago we were doing 100. So speeds are just increasing, and they're becoming more and more affordable. So if you know businesses that need private, dedicated internet services, please put in touch with me, Stuart. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stuart. Toby, you're followed by
Morning everybody, Toby Acton, Pole Position Business Solutions. I'm working on an interesting motivational mapping project at the moment with a homeless charity in Harlow. Several of the team are actually former homeless people that have been through the system and been taken off the streets. And the CEO wants to understand the team better and what drives them, their strengths and weaknesses, wants to know who to allocate to various different projects here to make the best use of them. They've got 2 sites. They've got the cottages, which are accommodation, they've got a day centre, and you've effectively got 2 teams. They want to integrate those teams better, understand the reasons behind some tensions between the 2 teams and deal with them. It's basically all about helping the team work better together for the overall benefit of the charity and the people that they serve. So it's a really interesting project to get that common team purpose. So who do you know, businesses, organisations, charities that would like to have a better common team purpose within their team that I could help them with? So that's Toby Acton, Pole Position Business Solutions.
Scott, you're next, followed by Clara.
Good morning everyone, Scott from SEO. Chock-a-block busy at the minute with a variety of different website design projects, small, medium and large, which is all great. So I thought I'd just remind you about the easiest referrals that you can find for me. Those times when you deal with a business in your email communications and it's a Gmail account or it's a BT internet account, it's basically non-branded, cheap DIY brand on their business comms. If you happen to be emailing someone in business that ends in @gmail.com or similar, just tag a line on the bottom. By the way, you should have a chat with my pal Scott. He can sort you out, register you a domain name for your business, and upgrade your current email services to a professional one. It's not expensive, just got a ring. That'd be great, I'd really appreciate that. Small businesses will turn into possible future bigger business for me. Easy referral opportunity, thank you.
Thanks, John. Clara, you're next, followed by Dave.
Hey, Clara Downton from Downton Mortgages and Financial Services. Been a busy week for me. The news that I've been kind of hoping I wouldn't say, rates are on the increase at the moment, and yeah, it's challenging right now. Trying to move quickly for clients before things go up. I was kind of hoping it was just going to stabilise, but it's looking like it may not, and it may go up a little bit more because there's been a little bit of a flurry of them this week. So I've got 3 mortgage applications to get in today for rates that are all leaving tonight. So it's busy time for me. But if you know anybody who in the next 6 months has got a rate coming to an end, please get them to do something quickly, because based on the last 2 6-month periods, it's been about 6 months before they start coming down again. So I hate people to end up at the peak. So yeah, if you know anyone who's coming up for a remortgage in the next 6 months, please get them to speak to somebody. Cool. Clara Downton from Downton Mortgages and Financial Services.
Thanks, Clara. Dave, you're next, and you're followed by Terry.
Morning everybody, I'm Dave from Brentwood Electrical. We're EIC registered electricians based in Brentwood. So we carry out all forms of electrical work. On the domestic side, we'll do extra lights, extra sockets. Also, we'll upgrade if you've got some dated sockets or switches, we can go around and change those to a modern style. We do rewires or brand new installations for new builds. Looking towards the spring and that, we do garden lighting and power. But that could be just like in the flower beds, or we can also do like log cabinets and stuff like that. We do new fuse boards, so if you've got the old fuse boards where you've got a bit of fuse wire in it, give me a call because we can come around and change it to a modern type with the circuit breakers. Do EV chargers, so if anybody's looking to buy an electric car, we can come around and fit an EV charger for them. And we also do fault finding and testing, so that will be anything from for landlords or commercial or home buyers. So anything electrical, I'm Dave, Brentwood Electrical, please give me a call.
Thank you, Dave. Terry, you're next, followed by Leanne.
Yeah, thanks very much, Aidan. Good morning, everybody. Terry Magan from TM Law Solicitors. Just quickly give an update. Clients who, or small businesses who are owed money, I don't know if you know, if the money is under £10,000 and they take court proceedings, whatever the outcome of those court proceedings, they won't get any legal costs back because it's allocated to the small claims track. And so it's obviously a bit of a barrier, and some small businesses are very nervous, especially if the debt's only a few £1,000s. But in the last couple of weeks, one for a member, one for an ex-member, I've dealt with 2 cases that were allocated to the small claims track. We've successfully, with won the cases obviously, and then I've had an arrangement with the client as to the fees. Because even though you don't get the money back, I can always come to a financial arrangement as to taking a percentage or a cut or whatever. So if you know anyone that's owed money, it's under £10,000, and they're reluctant to take proceedings because they're nervous about costs, give them my details and I'll sort them out. Terry Magan, TM Law.
Thanks, Terry. Leanne, you're followed by Jen.
Good morning everybody, Leanne of Brentwood Interiors. Now I want to tell you about one of my services, and in fact it's the start of starting point for all my services. So I call it a design consultation, but it can be classed as a fresh pair of eyes. So this is a design consultation in your home, and it's about 90 minutes, and we talk about whatever room you want, all your challenges, all your ideas and how you want to get them and what you need the room for. And I will give suggestions for colours, furniture layout, and also where to shop for your design. So this can be very helpful for someone going through a renovation at the moment. So they've had an extension done, and the builder said, right, well, where do you want the plumbing and the plug sockets and the light sockets? And they go, I haven't thought about that. So I can be there and I can help them. We can work out the floor layout, we can work out where everything goes, and it helps builders a lot. So if you know someone looking to refresh or put some va-va-voom back in their room, put them in touch with me. That's Leanne of Brooklyn Interiors.
Thank you, Leanne. Jane, yours next, and you're followed by Tina.
Hello everybody, Jane from the English Green Tea Company, delivering afternoon tea treats all over the country. But we've got an interesting new partnership going on, and we're working now with Headingham Castle, which is one of Britain's great ancient keeps and such like. And so for all their event days, we are now supplying cream teas, picnics, and afternoon teas, which either the castle are going to risk and buy a certain number to sell, or you pre-order on their website. They have wonderful things. They have wild water swimming in their lakes, they have owls at night events, they have jousting with very gorgeous lights. They're called the King's Nights, and I've seen photos, ladies worth attending. They do a Father's Day event, they do the classic car event, they do all sorts throughout the whole year, and we will be providing the treats to go along with it. Hooray for us!
Thank you, Jane. Tina, you're next. You're followed by me, and I will be followed by Paul.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Tina. My company's called Liberty Services. I'm a secretarial service, either virtual, in your office, or abroad. Which is very good. I'm looking for people that don't know their arse from their elbow, excuse the pun, that they've got so much work, so many reports to do, they don't know where to turn, they've got meetings to arrange, they still don't know what to do, where to go, if they've got to go far, or if their clients have got to travel. You can meet halfway. So if you know anybody that needs assistance, pass on my details because I'll be happy to help. So that's me, Tina, Liberty Executive Services. I'm not a 9 to 5, I'm start to finish.
Thank you, Tina. Aidan Squire from TM Law Solicitors. Last week I gave you an example of the folly of not taking a solicitor's advice when you're entering into a commercial lease. I've had a similar one in relation to a lady who was taking on a franchise agreement for a driving school. She had no right to terminate the contract for a minimum of 5 years, with all of the obligations on her part, not on the franchise laws. If you cannot work or operate the franchise for any reason, she'd have to get out and have to pay the balance of 5 years regular payments. Her sister had guaranteed this. Unfair terms? Well, they certainly were, but it doesn't apply to commercial agreements as far as legislation is concerned. And there's no terms for the franchise law to breach. So, in red all over it though, and the only fair thing about it was said, please take legal advice, don't enter into this agreement. So thorough warnings, she didn't follow it, and now to get out of it, she's going to have to pay £50,000. For £500, I'd have got her out of it, or probably for less than that. She would never have entered into the first place. That's Aidan Squire from TM Law. Paul, you're on.
Morning, Paul Booth from Brentwood, certified accountant based in Brentwood. This time of year, normally we have a look at our internal costs. So our main bank is Barclays, so I found an old bank which we hardly ever using, so we closed that. Small saving, £8.50 a month. Also a couple of software costs we don't really need, so I cancelled them. In subject of banks, everything is moving to the challenger banks, Sterling, Metal, etc. And Barclays in Brentwood are closing down at the end of May, until May, so we're looking to move everything across to the challenger banks. So good thing about challenger banks, particular Metal bank owned by NatWest Group. If you've got a Metal account, you get free agent bookkeeping free of charge, and it's award-winning software as well. We're a gold partner now with free agents. So if you haven't made your online journey yet, please have a chat with me, and I'll give you some good details and instructions. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Well, that's the contributions of the members. I'd like to give an opportunity to the slide, please.
My name's Chris. The company is Travel Philosophers. Thank you very much for inviting me here today. Travel for me has always been a passion, and I'm in a real passion. So this career for me is something that I always wanted to do, whether it's short haul, long haul, city breaks, overseas, in the UK even. I can arrange it. The good thing is that, I mean, everybody has to be actual and asset protected, financially secure. We've got over 450 suppliers we use. So if somebody says to me, I'd like to go to the Bahamas for 2 weeks, I want to go to Lake Como for 2 weeks, or a week, or 4 days, whatever, give me a chance to quote for you. I'll give you 2 or 3 quotes. If one of those works, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'm still quite happy. So it's just lovely to meet everybody. Any travel needs that you've got. So one more thing, for me as well, it's about bad experiences. People pay too much money to go away to have a really bad experience. The holiday company doesn't know once you've booked it, whereas it's different with us. My son went to Morocco. He was told he'd have a swim-up pool to his room. Paid a lot of money for this holiday with his girlfriend. The beach was polluted. The 5-star hotel turned out to be a 3. His swim-up pool was a paddling pool, literally a paddling pool, and to top it all, he got food poisoning while he was there. So I want to avoid that. If you want a really good experience, and I call it an experience, not just a holiday, just let me know.
Good. Thank you very much, Chris. Right, that's it. That's the end of the 60-second round. As usual, hand over to the last week's Oscar winner.
Well, I'm impressed by that. That's great person. Pictures and concise and that sort of thing. There's loads of really good ones today, actually. I picked out a few little highlights. Yeah, I thought your design consultation seems like a really good idea, and especially I hadn't really thought the whole getting rid of the build string before the house is even laid out. Jane, you've got a round of applause, so that's obviously got to make you a contender. And I love the thought of EBF social days watching jousting with green teas, so I think speak to Brian and organise that. But I'm going to give it this week to Toby, purely because I think it was a really good explanation of what you do and that sort of thing, and it tied in with Paul's talk about how what you say is not always what we hear. And I've heard you talk loads of times, and it's never really occurred to me the whole you do your most recent information spatial mapping, and then you can lay out your team members depending on how that works. So that's really interesting.
We're following the philosophy of somebody close, so you don't have to go very far.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. Well done, Toby. That's the end, then we move on. Moving on, as always, means the second report. Scott.
Only very quick points to make for today. We've recorded 7.5 grand's worth of business past. We've recorded 10 new referral opportunities. And a reminder that today Tina has got some bonus points. She invited along, I guess, Chris, but she didn't just get the normal 25 points for bringing her visitor, because we've changed that now as an incentive. It's 50 points now. Bringing guests. If Chris goes on to join, she'll get 100 points as well. So we are, performance league wise, increasing the points value purely because we want to attract more members at the table. More bums on seats means more referrals and more business for us all. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Scott. Right. We now move on to after the 60-second round, we move on to the next major part, which is the 10-minute presentation. As standing, for commentary with the introduction.
I forgot to mention earlier that I haven't got next week's speaker or education slot from Fed, so if you know who you are, well done. Thanks, James. And the ed slot next week, anyone who's, hopefully it'll be Ben and he'll know it's him, but if not, I'm sure someone like this will stand in.
I would be, but I've been away.
Someone like this won't stand in. Thanks, James.
I'll do it if we need to.
I'm sure Ben will circulate the next few speakers. I haven't seen one lately, I don't know if any of you have. We do circulate an email. It's not been well, so as long as you know who you are and here, that'd be great. Not please, down there. It's lovely to sit on the chair. So today's speaker is someone that we hear from a lot, and I think I'm going to struggle to do the 8 minutes speaking and 2 minutes questions, but we've got a timekeeper to say, hey, what could possibly go wrong? So the business name is Pilgrim Hypnotherapy, and this person's position is Senior Clinical Hypnotherapist. Just checking. Number of employees is 1, including him, and the areas covered, they come from far and wide, including Billericay. His favourite song? Any guesses? Buffalo girls. Very romantic. I'll explain in a moment. So listen up. Something that needs fixing. Wokeism. An embarrassing moment, and I'm sure some of us more senior people who have done this, walking into Vodafone and asking if my glasses were ready. Specsavers were a few doors down. So without further ado, introduce Mr. Brian Painter.
Yes, Buffalo Girls. Very romantic song. It's only the first verse. It's, I danced with a dolly with a hole in her stocking. Her knees kept her rocking, and her body kept her knocking. I danced with a dolly with a hole in her stocking. Let me dance by the light of the moon. It's not romantic, romantic. Anyway. Right. Pay attention, class. You need that, right? Fuck it down. I seem to have left my notes at home, I think. Okay. No, I haven't. I thought what I would do, rather than talk about the conscious and subconscious, just mention a few of the clients I've seen. And the first one is how a fear or a phobia can be learned. And this concerns a lady when she saw me, she was 28, and whenever there's a thunderstorm, she had a Victorian house, she should hide in the cupboard under the stairs. She would never ever go out without checking the weather forecast. If there's any prospect of rain, she would not go out. Now, so 20 times phobias are quite easy to clear, but she wanted to know why she had this phobia, the dread of thunderstorms. And it went back to when she was 6 years old. She was having a picnic with her mother, and suddenly it started to rain, and it was a thunderstorm. And her mother grabbed her and they hid under a tree. And she was holding the little girl's hand, and this little girl could feel the anxiety coming from her mother through her hand and into her. Of course, she didn't realise it at the time, but her subconscious picked it up, and that created a phobia. A few sessions, she was absolutely fine. Second one was a lady some years ago who had virtually a hatred of men. She was the manageress of a works canteen, and the guys used to wind her up and say, "What have you got for poison today for us, Ollie?" And she would sound off. We had a few sessions and we weren't getting anywhere. And one session she was in a deep trance, and I asked her subconscious to give her a dream, a repetitive dream that she would remember, and she could tell me about it in the next session. But when she came back, she said, "I did have a repetitive dream, but it doesn't really make much sense." There were three men, and they had monks' coats with hoods, and they pulled the hoods right down over the face. And each of these men had a Jack Russell. And in a cage, there was a little white chicken. Now, I can't interpret dreams, but I can lead a person so that they can interpret. And cutting the story short, I said, "Why have these men got the cloaks, and why are they covering their faces?" And she said, "Well, clearly they don't want to be identified." "What about the Jack Russell?" "What was the Jack Russell?" He said, "It was a dog, and it's really, not this small, but quite aggressive." I said, "What about the little white chicken?" "It's in a cage, it's absolutely harmless." And then she realised, you see, subconscious will never actually speak words and tell a person what a problem is. It's always symbolic. So the three people with the woods were three men. And the dogs, the Jack Russell, aggressive. The little white chicken, quite innocent. She realised the three men. The first one was her brother, and when she was 4 years old, he took her into the woods and sexually assaulted her. And that carried on until she was 8 years old. He then passed her on to the father, who sexually abused her until she was 11 years old. She left home at 16 and lived with a man who was 32, who persistently raped her. The little white chicken, she said, in the dream, it was let out of a cage, and these three men would release the Jack Russells, and the Jack Russells pounced upon it and tore it apart. Now that was symbolic. She knew about she remembers that the man she lived with when she was 16 raping her. She had no recollection until that dream could be interpreted of being raped when she was 4 years old by her brother and also later on her father. Once we found the reason, and without finding the reason, we would never have stopped, the trauma would never have stopped. It just carried on. And the strange thing is, she was actually living with a man at the time, who she said is so very, very gentle, and he took herself all my abuse. Once we found the reason, her attitude completely changed, and that was through a dream. I believe is my car far up?
Yes.
Yes. If you have any questions, happy to answer.
Right, have there been any of the phobias that you generally can't cure? Is there a particular type of phobia that you can't cure?
No. All phobias, well, let's put it this way, I haven't come across a phobia that I haven't been able to get rid of. And there have been some strange ones, such as buttons, the scarf around the neck, water.
Anybody else? How did you learn, and how did you find out that you could hypnotise people?
Well, it was when I took early retirement from British Gas and looked around for something to do. I was comparatively young. And I went to a franchise fair. And I looked at a number of franchises, and each one I looked at was sort of grabbing me by the arm and saying, yes, this would be really good for you. And the only people who didn't was an organisation called Landlord Court International. They were the stress managers. And what they said was, any time you want to see what we do, you don't need to phone and make an appointment, just turn up and we'll show you around. And I was very, very impressed with them. And I joined them. And the guy who actually set it up on Entrepreneur, I've been with him a couple of years, and he had a stroke. He then, when he recovered from the stroke, wrote the best-selling book of how to recover from a stroke. We bought the intellectual property from him, and we carried on the business that we then owned it.
Brian, I know you help people with smoking.
Yeah.
What about vaping? Is that someone you help with? Is that an addiction, or
yeah,
is it more common now?
I've seen a number of vapors. It's a little more difficult because of the process. The smoker has to take the packet out of his pocket, open it, take it a cigarette, hunt for a lighter, flash, and light it. The vapor's problem. So, but yes, I've seen them and it's been successful.
Right, as a follow-up to Paul's question, could anybody hypnotise somebody with the appropriate training and the appropriate information, as opposed to being hypnotised? Could anybody ultimately learn to do the job that you finally taken up from that?
When I've been to conventions and chatted to various guys who did the therapists, I thought, you are totally rubbish, absolute rubbish. And supposed to have had training, that they never ever, when I asked what procedures, we used the same procedure, which was suggestion therapy, whatever I brought to them, it was exactly the same therapy. So what I would say really, could anybody be a solicitor? Could anybody be an accountant? Could anybody be a printer? Yes, it could be a printer, that's true, it could. I think you've got to have that inclination to do the work, because by its very nature, I only see people with problems. But I think anybody, I think really the answer is no. To be a successful therapist, I don't think anybody could.
Right, last question.
Another follow-up to Paul's and talking about the process of taking the cigarettes out. So do you work with submodalities?
Yeah, which is,
I'll let you.
yes, it's if there's a problem, should we say it's a mental problem, it's what shape is it, what colour is it, the texture, is it warm, is it cold, whereabouts is it in your body, and those sort of problems, the submodalities. I do use those on occasion.
Brian, thank you very much indeed. Brian, do you want to do your version of the running?
Yes.
Excellent.
No.
Right.
I did yes.
Don't let his sedentary situation throw you off. Paul, we're starting the referrals and testimonials round, and as the head of the Naughty Corner, you go first.
Welcome, Chris. It's been long. Hope to see you again. Certainly a lot of business here for graduations. Well done, Brian. As always, very fascinating. Thank you. Taking money for James for a client. Good meeting.
Thank you, Brian. Interesting, as always. And thank you, Paul, for the little head slot. Visualisation of that. Referral for Dave for the work at Pilgrim's Hall. Thank you. So that's all done and underway. A referral from Matt Barry, who designed us one of his pull-up banners. That's done, and then Vince is printing it for us. So thank you very much.
Referral for Scott. We spoke last week about a woman wants a timesheet online, added to her website. There you go. Which one? This one. To Scott, please.
Put your arms up, please.
Chris, welcome to the group. This is a very strong category. You need to give it some serious consideration, because you do very well from this. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I'm off to Brazil on Tuesday.
Very good and thanks for coming, Chris. One for Stuart, which was, I think, for Mike Stuart. Clara. Yeah. Attended the citizenship meeting last week.
Yeah, good meeting. Interesting as always. Just following on, Chris, we spoke earlier, didn't we, Chris? Just, I don't know if I'm supposed to give you these forms as a guest, but you've got my details on there, so you can give me a shout about that one. And a couple of one-to-ones, but they're right here, so I'll save you one to me. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you.
James, one-to-one. One-to-one for Ben, and one-to-one for Tina. And yeah, I'm not on a TV shoot, I'll be here next week. And it was amazing, very informative, Brian. Thank you.
Welcome, Chris, and thanks for the education slot. Brilliant, actually, and I love that, Brian. I love you. You're brilliant, mate. And you said about that woman who hated men. Yeah. I wonder if you could have a chat with my wife. James, thank you. Toby, Thank you for the radiator. Hopefully I don't see you anymore. And John as well. Thank you for the important service.
Chris, your chance to stand up and say something nice.
Yeah.
Paul, John. I just want to say thank you very much for having me here. It's been really informative. I walked back, decided it's lovely, lovely people. I need to know how to work these referrals and activity sheets out, and I'm sure it will be for the next few weeks. But yeah, thank you very much, David. Thank you.
Very good, right? Well, 25, 90, whatever it was. Back to the record for Scott.
Good to see you, Chris. It's been nice to see you. Can we all make sure? Mike, can we make sure we send this video to Paul's wife? See you later.
Please don't.
Excellent presentation, well done. Thank you, Brian. They're always good. Paul, we spoke late on Tuesday night, and Monday night for an opportunity. Not just a piece of work, but a big design job, which hopefully could be quite nice.
That'd be great, thanks.
Awards, the next 10 minutes, Brian. I've made a note of the activity record of attending last week's strategy team meeting, which was well attended and as always well run by Jane. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, Chris. You've got to join these to find out the origin to your surname. It's a good enough reason, isn't it? Well done, Brian. Apart from what Brian told you today, we worked on a professional level together, and the most amazing thing I've told you about is a woman had a car crash. She couldn't remember anything about it. There'd been another car hit her, and Brian took her into a couple of sessions, and he actually extracted the details of the car that hit her, the registration number, enough for the police to prosecute and me to bring a case. I'll never forget that. It's incredible. So it really does work what you do. Few referrals, James Humphreys, we're on that James flat 56 and 56A, and all over that like a rash. Little one for Scott, we spoke about it last week, which is pretty formal. It's the B format questionnaire. I must send it over. Scott. Sure. And thank you for money for an ex-member, a couple of thousand quid, an ex-member, another point. We're paid to keep in touch with ex-members.
Really good. I love listening to you. Really interesting. I had a one-to-one with Ben last week and a one-to-one with Neil, and thank you for the money for Neil. And I've got thank you for money for John Freeman, who's still there. Thank you, Chris, for coming along. Hope you really enjoyed it. And I'll see you all next week.
Yeah, great technique. Really interesting to listen to. Thanks for all this all okay. I've got a B2C before that we did last week with Jane. But look, recommend Aidan for the lease. He did a fantastic job on that lease. So if anyone goes into a building, make sure you get legal advice for these sorts of out. And I won't see you all next week. Because I'm going to want to mine arse in Milton.
Yeah.
Welcome, Chris. Yeah, as everyone said, the last travel council person did really well, so I'm sure it will suit you very well. Great Ex-Lot, Paul, really enjoyed that, and just want to say congratulations, good store open at last, so we'll pop down for a visit. Opening anytime soon, and looking forward to seeing all these boys for Airsoft at the weekend. So I thought I'd pull you up on, you said you wanted to get rid of wokeness, and from best of my memory, the definition of that is empathetic and understanding of people's unique challenges, and I think that sums you up perfectly.
Absolutely. It's going to be hijacked. If you don't buy into it, you're cancelled, you lose it.
But I think, yeah, what you do absolutely encapsulates that, so very good. And a great 10 minutes, really enjoyed it as ever. And been doing a bit of work with Harold last week and the Blue Surf team last week and this week as well. It's been great, so more on that to come.
Welcome, Chris. Nice to see you. And see you all next week. Thank you.
Yeah, great 10 minutes of fine. As you know, I'm a big fan of what you do. Great slot as well, Paul. Really valuable lesson. We all do have different views. We have different filters, so yeah, important to remember that. A referral to Paul, hopefully the last one. And a one-to-one on a burger with Matt Barrett. And fantastic synergy meeting last week. Thank you very much. And okay. Welcome, Chris. As a couple of people said, it's a great category to have here.
Welcome. Great insight, Paul. Thank you very much. And again, I love listening to you, Ryan. I think what you do is so interesting and really amazing. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
Don't worry, I've got no running around for you. It's a great start, lovely to listen to you. Welcome, Chris. Lovely to have you part of the group. Wanted to say thank you, Dave, for helping out with removing a light. When I suddenly said, this needs to happen really quickly, it happened very quickly. Stuart, thank you so much. We've gone live with our systems, and so far everything's been good, so that's all great. Thank you for that. Say that again.
So that makes it
Paul Booth, thank you. Great head slot, and thank you for responding really quickly when asked for documents for clients. I'm not sure if I'll be here next week, and Shannon is away sunning herself, so we'll see if we can get representation here, but it's a big dancing weekend, so I may be sleeping. But thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you, if not next week, the week after.
So thank you, Paul, for this beautiful. Also, it's really hard to turn the corner, but it's a thick corner. Yeah, really hard, but no, very good. Ryan, I enjoyed that very much. We always enjoy listening to you. And of course, you helped my sister-in-law, who was terrified of flying, but her husband loves to go on trips. And I've just come back from South Africa with her, and there was not a crying set out. This was big progress. Well done, thank you. And so I've got the B2C Synergy meeting last week. Thank you everybody for attending. This is confirming to Neil the 1st of September, don't let it go, for my son's 40th birthday party. It's a pizza party because he's really only 6 years old. We'll have balloons and everything. That's marvellous. Chris, so pleased to see you here. Oh, there's an orange escape. So pleased to see you here today. Yes, we've missed having a travel counsellor here. And also it's great that you've already intuited that this is a fun, lively and effective group. Some of us come from quite far away. You're from Bishop Stortford. I'm from near Hatfield Heath. Somebody comes from Frinton. And for us to get up at silly o'clock, there has to be a really good reason. And this buzz and fun, but also the passing of business is what it's all about. That you are very welcome. Good to meet you. Thank you, everybody.
Ryan, before you sit down.
I'll choose a winner from today's referrals. It's from Stuart.
Stuart. Is it black or white?
Black or white?
Is it black or white? Your girlfriend?
Come to order. We almost got through, didn't we? Right, we've come to the end of the meeting. I was very pleased to see this morning that when we started, just after 7 and there's light around, so spring approaches. Before you go on your way, and I hope I can send you all on your way, I'm looking forward to next week. As always, the floor's open to anybody who has any announcements that they wish to make. Terry.
Yeah, I sent around a couple of weeks ago, I sent around an email from an email I got from Buzzman Council. It's about a technology event. It's on tomorrow, 8 till 11:30. It's probably a good chance to network. It's about emerging technology, AI, internet things, and it's by business for businesses. If anyone's interested, have a look at the email or have a look at this. One other thing, Brian, we're always asking for social event ideas. We did the Crystal Maze a few years ago. I'd love to do it again, so maybe we can put an email out and see
That's what it is. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
If anyone knows anyone who's got a shop mannequin and they don't want anymore, would be interested.
What do you want it for?
Let's not let our imagination far ahead of us. Scott.
I just wanted to remind us all, certainly my most memorable phrase of the meeting that I shan't forget, other than what you said about Scott's girlfriend, but the chuckle line.
Yes.
Started going downhill. Right. Quick. My announcement is a quick board meeting. Just 5 minutes after the end of this, please. Just a quick word. If that's it, then that's all, and we're on our way until next week. Thank you all.